So what an anti-antiquity age that was. By the end, it looked like we were playing Twister on the map. But given that we are in the position that we are in, I think it's right that we play as Mongolia for the second age. I think that we are still going to want to take quite a few settlements. We're going to want to go back to war, maybe deal with Confucius once and for all, and take some land for ourselves, because a lot of those smaller territories we built at the end of the age will probably just remain as towns, because we are overlapping quite a bit of the territory. And what are we going to do about Benny taking over Kosambi, one of our key locations? It has a lot of territory. I mean, we're going to want to take it back somehow, but I think Mongolia will provide us the opportunity, specifically the Orbis military legacy path points when you capture a settlement, even in the homelands. They have a special commander of the Noyan. They have some interesting land units. I believe they have the special cavalry as well. But I think this is a better time than ever to play as Mongolia and show what they're capable of, because simply we are so congested that most games won't provide as much opportunity to conquer nearby settlements in our home as this one. Okay, so here our exploration age begins. Let's start with the science. One thing I'd like to show you is that in the last patch they were able to update queuing techs and civics. I've heard some people are having a few bugs and issues, but I haven't been, I don't think. Yeah. If you just go back to clicking off of this, you don't lose the ability to do it. And if you pick something completely separate that doesn't have anything in common, or mostly in common with this, something like that, then you should be fine. Like, obviously we want to head to shipbuilding, but for now we want to hit perhaps the guilds for the culture, because we also want to try and get Escorial if we can, and other sort of like benefit settlement limits and things from the civic tree. So getting the culture and the gold. But this is a really nice update. I've been missing it, you know. It's not as key as, say, something like pins, but it's certainly something I would expect in any base civ game, let alone an update. So it's nice that they've actually finally done it. Early stages here, and it's that time again to make a religion. So let's get at it, shall we? We'll make our usual picks. We have icons available, which is always nice. We have plenty of targets for that. Probably going to go Shrines of the Kami as per usual. We're in the process also of acquiring more Jambi, which is really helpful. And yeah, we have our Noyans in place. We have another settler about to go off and hopefully join with this cog. Ah, but there's a scout here. Hostile. But maybe we can try to figure out where that city-state is. And we have even some spices. So we're definitely ready to go pursue our treasure fleet exploits, while we also consider what we'll do with Confucius over here. So it's turn 15, and I can say there have been some good news and bad news. So the good news is we have indeed secured Muara Jambi. The bad news is that we lost Shangjing. It was defeated. It's gone, as you can see. This was where it was, and it's been defeated. We have found other city-states. Damascus, we are befriending, hopefully 5 turns. Even though we're only generating 36 influence, we've been able to use it quite well, because we're also befriending Kamakura, and you know, we can reduce that to 7 per turns remaining as well. Hopefully they will be quickly enough. They're a little distant. Mount Fuji is over here. So it's kind of a decent blockade, because they'd have to go by sea to want to disband Kamakura. So it has a very good chance of surviving. So we've made our settlers, we've crossed the seas, and it's our turn now to make some new settlements. So you can see this is a very nice, lucrative treasure resource location with 3 chocolates. Very sweet. So let's go make the first one. Let's give it a fishing key as close as we can to home, and hope that we can study shipbuilding now. as quickly as possible, so we have as many turns available to make those journeys. As you can see, it's not very far away. It's like maybe 1 or 2 trips. So that's really nice and close. We also have on the other side another really decent place to settle. We're going to leave this spot here. I don't think we're going to ever convert a place as small as this into a city, but you can imagine that tile being quite nice, potentially, for a production or science building. So, you also get an expansionist point. Over the horizon, there's always another horizon. Reach grows like the dawn, because of course we have now made those distant land settlements. And although it's always a distant dream to get this settlement limit, if it's going to give me an expansionist point, that's what I'm going to hope to maybe get some point. So things are hotting up here, and Confucius decided to have yet another go at me with his sea-bound archer units that we need to take advantage of while they're in weaker territory. But of course, you know, the amount of damage that we actually get does not anywhere near compare to the amount of damage shown on that graphic there. It says it's going to do over half its health. And that is not really equating to that. Anyway, these two are both vegetated, so we can't actually move through there. So unfortunately, we have to do something like that. Put out this swordsman. Doesn't have any more movement, which is very annoying because we don't have any, levels on our commander. And I guess we can. See, this says it would kill it, right? And yet nowhere near. So you really gotta be wary about the amount of damage they tell you you're gonna be. So now we have assault at least. So if we go back here, we will lose all our movement. You'll see currently we have 4 movement. We lose all our movement for that. But now, next turn, we can just simply put the cursor into this and then move it down south in all-in-one movement, because we won't actually need to worry about the cursor moving into this tile because it will have been sucked up by the commander. Don't do it by the suck up commander thing though, because that expends and exhausts the commander itself and you wouldn't be able to move it. So you have to use it through this, and once it has movement again, to add to there. It's very awkward and weird and subjective and ambiguous, and I don't really know why it's so picky like that, but you know, it's better to know these things. As we finally convert Chang'an here, another benefit to the most recent patch is the unit icon separation from before. You have a notice here, for instance, we have a fleet commander and we have a cog. In the original version of the game, I would not be able to distinguish between this this unit icon and this one because they would be covering each other up. And I just have to like cycle click to get to what I want, and if I missed it, I have to cycle click again, and it can be very annoying. In this case, now with the new update, I can immediately go to my fleet commander, pick them all up that I want, and move them across. This is the same is true with land units as well, and even units of different types. So we have the missionary that I want to convert this place to. I don't need to cycle from Keffig to Noyan to missionary. I can just go straight to the missionary, and we're good. I can also then take this Noyan without having to pick up the Keffig and immediately suck all those units in to defend the city center. It's just so much more helpful. These things matter. Even if they may be small individually, over the course of a game, you're playing several, maybe even a couple of hundred turns in total. And it's really helpful and handy to get what you were wanting to originally. So Confucius has been foolish enough to send his treasure fleet over to me, so why don't we just take control of it, yeah? There we go. Oh wait, what? That's right. If you try taking a treasure fleet with a land unit, because it's land and not sea, even though I destroyed it, it doesn't become yours. However, if we rewind the clock, now that we've rewound the clock, we have a carrack here ready to take this. And you'll see that instead of losing the ship entirely, it will now become one of ours. It's an easy mistake to make because in some respects it doesn't really make sense? Because if you captured something, if you killed something with a ranged attack, why hasn't it become yours? But I guess simply because it's not in the same domain. It's a land unit versus a naval unit. It's just something to keep an eye out for. Well, while we're being warred out on all sides, we're about to say goodbye to Confucius. Sayonara, Confucius, and with that, Vilnius, which was his city-state, gets deleted off the map as well, because he was Susan to that. Now, if we took Vilnius first, then we could have kept it. It's 58 turns in, 70% on the age counter. It took an awful lot of effort and an awful lot of units, but I'm happy to say that we've finally taken back Rouen. Woohoo! It is nearing the end, and we can peace out now with Benny. We can even take another place. We should probably take another place. I'm not entirely sure what I want. Maybe Ravenna. I think I want Ravenna, because in that, we were able to peace out with Catherine, and we got Athenai from her, I believe. That will link Athenai to the rest of our empire if we took Ravenna. So I think by taking Ravenna, yeah, it won't give me 2. I don't think I ever give you 2. No. But Ravenna is fine. And there you have it. The military conquest is complete.
Let's make it work.
Well, it certainly worked for me. Thank you very much. And there it is. We now have a nice sort of like more solid foundation to this dots of a map that we've been wrestling with this entire time. Maybe if we can in the next age take care of these 3, then we can actually have more of a unified empire. Well, there it is. 100% is on the age counter, and we have made our way by hook or crook through yet another age. This game has been quite the challenge, but oh, of course, there's economics to deal with. So, let's see just how many points we can accrue, shall we? That's, of course, giving me 1 point. There's 2 more points. They've added a lot of mass upgrade units in commanders and mass things. It's a shame they don't do a mass, add treasure fleet stuff. Oh, well, we're way ahead if these are all 4, aren't we? There it is. This one sadly won't be added, but you can see when we have 4 chocolates, chocolate heaven over here. Well, more than we needed. So yeah, perfect time to end the game, I'd say. Our ranking's 42. That's quite a lot, treasure fleet points. And there it is, the banner once again returns. The exploration age has come to an end. Let's see who we are going to play in the modern.
The Mongols gallop to the ends of the earth, trampling paths to riches beneath their horses' hooves.
Alright. Very nice picture. This one is zooming in as opposed to outward. You know how most of them zoom outward? We don't actually get to see that guy, because actually the picture that you tend to get doesn't even have them. Interesting. It's just an interesting difference to every other little cinematic. We got a whole bunch of points. We have our 3s across the board, and of course, apart from the wild card. There you have it. We're 25 to 10 over double everybody else. We got what we needed, just enough relics, just enough Orbis land with that nice final capture, and just enough science points. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.